From the local parts store, we got ourselves a brand new, made in the USA, Delphi ignition coil. Boom. Looks the same as the OEM, so let's pop it on. Hopefully these little screws will come out. Here's one. There's two. Easiest coil in the business to swap out. There's the original. Alright. Now I do see that this ignition control module actually looks pretty new. It says something innovation made in the USA. So that's already been replaced. Not too surprising to see something of this vintage, but all we're gonna do is pop the new one on. Easy enough. Screw it down. Tight on there. Put on our spark plug wires. This baby should at least fire up. Let's give it a shot. Alrighty. Key on. Woo! Smooth. Awesome. How do I try on my wipers? Oh, here we go. It's shaking the whole car. Uh-oh. Can't shut them off. This is just like that Trailblazer. There we go. Alright, so it's not misfiring anymore. Sweet. Let's see if this thing will move. Because I fired it up a little while ago and it did not. Uh-oh. No forward. No reverse. I have the e-brake on because I don't want it to roll away. So the transmission problem is back. We fixed the misfire. Now we got a transmission problem. So how do we attack this? So when I started up, was after sitting for like 3 months, you saw the first time it engaged perfectly. It was like clunk, go. Now, no engagement whatsoever. What do we do first? Check the transmission fluid level, of course. Let's go under the hood, check that. And yes, I already got a new belt for it. We'll stop that squeak. The belt was just old. Trans fluid. In. Oh yeah. Alright, there it is. The level looks fine. It's right between those two dots. Transmission fluid definitely looks very dark, but that wouldn't really explain why it doesn't engage. Now we actually have to do some transmission diagnostics. Look up a wiring diagram, look up some description and operation of how this thing works, what makes it shift. Uh-oh. What was that? Misfiring now? Oh, it doesn't even want to rev up. That's not good. Ooh, it engaged. Sweet. Hey, let's get into the shop while it's still movable. While we're here, let's just throw a new belt on. Squeaking annoys me, and this thing is super easy to do. Slip her off all the pulleys. And why was it squeaking? It was just old. I like the adjustable Steelman 1/2-inch ratchet. Gets the job done without any issues. Now the routing is it's a pretty long belt. Guess we have to disconnect some vacuum lines right here. Easy to do. Holy long belt. This thing is a mile long. Got a new Daco, let's put this on, fire it up. Alright, so we got the ignition coil in, got a new belt on there, checked all the fluids, pumped up the tires. Let's take this thing for a spin. I really wanted to get a good test drive in and, you know, get everything warmed up, and then if there's any problems we can do the diagnostics, because it's been sitting for so long, things might be a little sticky, a little stale. We can jump into our scanner just to look at some live data. Activate the silhouette, engage the spaceship. Key on. Yes. Load that guy up. Engine. Codes and data. Display codes. No codes present. History codes. No codes present. So this thing obviously doesn't like to set codes. Just look at some data. What we really care about, just the basics. Do RPM, oxygen sensor, open loop, closed loop, integrator and block learn. That's like long-term and short-term fuel trims. Block learn is long-term, integrator is short-term. IAC throttle position. This will be rich or lean. Let's do TPS. Spark advance, that's pretty important. Knock retard. And list view. Alright. Fires thing up. It fired up perfect. And it's already rich and lean, which is amazing. I don't know how that's possible, but the oxygen sensor is coming to life pretty quickly. Ah, it's not engaging in gear now. Don't want to go through my... Damn. Guess we're not going for a test drive. Sometimes it decides to engage, sometimes it doesn't. Kind of weird. See, one thing I wanted else to look at is the where's our mass airflow? There it is. Coolant mass airflow grams per second. Oh, it's really loping. This oxygen sensor is not terribly responsive. Our integrator's at 182. So what's a good value? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't like the oxygen sensor. Even though it's saying rich, lean, rich, lean. Integrator's at 182. It should be like 128, I think. 148, so we're adding fuel, adding fuel. Look at that. It's maxing it out. The oxygen sensor is not responsive. Now it's dropping it back down. 128. I was going to try ramp it up again. That's our problem. Oxygen sensor is dead. And this thing came in set a rich code. Look at that. Oh, fat pulse width. Integrator is maxed out. Smells rich. Just gonna try to do the same thing over and over again. See if our transmission woke up. Hey, we're moving. Hooray. Let's take it on a test drive. Alright, well, we're back in the shop. I made it back. I lost the transmission once, had to pull over, wait for a little bit, and then it popped back on and it drives, drives fine. Once it's engaged, perfect. No issues, no slipping. This is the Buick of minivans. This thing is a boat. Even though it has plastic body panels, it just floats on the road. I mean, highway cruiser, I could see that, no issues going cross country or something if it's reliable. But here's our problem right now. Integrator and block learner are maxed out. Oxygen sensor is completely just stuck at 330 millivolts. That's a problem. The transmission, I don't know. I think I have to get it running right first, at least. Replace the oxygen sensor, then go from there. One thing we could do before we fire the parts cannon with the oxygen sensor is A, find it. B, do a bypass test, see if the computer responds with the fuel trims. As far as I can tell, this is the connector right here, single wire. Oh, let's see, get some lighting here. Purple wire right here, and it goes down there, and because of the cowl, I can't really stick my head down there and look at it. I tried from underneath, I couldn't see it either, but if we unplug it, let's just see. I'll turn the key on. Get some data stream. Alright, so the car's off. This is our bias voltage, 450 millivolts. Block, integrator, and integrator are at 128. That's the default, zero fuel trim. Even has air fuel ratio. Amazing. I got a test light connected to battery positive. So once we disconnect the oxygen sensor, we'll see what happens. Then we can drive that wire high and see if the car takes fuel away. That's the experiment. Alright, there's our block learn. There's our integrator. Air fuel ratio. This says 14.12, even though we're adding a lot of fuel. Oxygen sensor isn't doing too much. So, we unplug it. About bias voltage now. It still keeps saying rich and lean. Let's try to drive that wire high. This little wire right here. So test light to that wire. Bingo. Let's see what the integrator and block learn do, if anything. It just says rich. Drop back down. Rich and lean, it's going up and down. There we go. We got our block learn to move. Now if we drive it high again, it's high. Rev it up. It's kind of sticky, isn't it? Ooh, look, integrator's coming down. That's pretty cool. Oh, so we went from open to closed loop. That was the difference. Save that capture right there. Now we're taking fuel away. Trying to drive the oxygen sensor low. You can hear it. Now let's take the test light off. Still says rich and lean. Look at the integrator go up. That's pretty neat. See, smoothed out. Test light back in. Now I wonder if it went to, see, open loop. So that's why it's not responding. You rev it up a little bit. Now it's in closed loop. Oh no, not yet. There's some kind of strategy there. There we go. Closed loop. Boom. Both of them falling off the cliff. Ooh, it doesn't like that. I want more fuel. So that's as neat as it can go. Oh, it's stalling out. Stalling out. Woo! I'm gonna do it again. Full closed loop. It tried again. It kind of like hiccuped. Reset. Test light out. Back where we started. So confirmed. Need an oxygen sensor. Just kind of playing around with it. The transmission issue. We have to leave that for part 2. The cool thing here is with the oxygen sensor unplugged, it's actually pretty happy at 128 and 144. Running pretty smooth and open loop. Revs up just fine. It stays in open loop. That's pretty neat. Now let's look at the codes of it if we set any. Display codes. Current codes. How did it not set any codes? Amazing. With the oxygen sensor unplugged. Wow. Code 13, O2 sensor circuit open, short or bad. Boom. It drives freaking awesome. I'm starting to love this thing. It is, you just sit there and go whoosh, like in a spaceship. Super smooth, torquey. I don't know, should I trade the MPV in for this thing? I mean, the interior is kind of in crappy shape. You know, GM wasn't really on par with the Japanese, but the drivetrain, when it works, no replacement for displacement. Alright, that's it for today. Let it cool down, see how the transmission is. It didn't act up anymore. I took it to the gas station, put in a few gallons. Fuel gauge works. I'm not sure what that orange light means. Don't really care for now. But we'll keep chipping away at it.